Good morning, everybody. This is 2 Cent back with my 2 cents on Octopath Traveler, and I'm going to tell you that Christmas was good, but it's been rough since then. I have come down with some sort of food illness, stomach bug. You don't want to hear about it, but luckily I woke up just about 20 minutes ago feeling good enough to kind of get a video out here for you guys for Harley. So let's just go take a look at him. Let's get into it. All right, here. So we got Harley. And there's only one change that was made over from the JP side to the global side for Harley. And I'm just going to start off by saying I'm not sure it's going to be enough for him. He was pretty lackluster from my impression from on the JP side. And I'm just not sure it's going to be enough over here. But I'll point that out as we go. So we're basically going to have a dancer here who is going to specialize in wind damage and being able to buff up our own team with some physical and elemental defense up, which isn't a bad thing. However, we're going to see this first one here. It's just going to be a single target for both of those different things. And single target buffing just typically isn't something that you're going to want to do when you have the option to do your entire front row or something like that. So we do have a fan attack that hits everybody, where we have a pretty low attack stat. So I don't see where you're going to use this too often. Same thing with this wind one here. This is going to be all foes, but it's only going to hit one time. But our elemental attack is 380. Not the best in the world, but also not the worst. So let's take a look here. We're also going to be able to lower the wind resist. This could be useful. So if you're using somebody like Odette or Tikilin or any of the other wind users out there, they could benefit from this 20% down. So not a horrible thing there. If you're building a team around wind or a fight specifically around wind, this might be more of a niche character that might fill a role in there. But we also have some wind 4-stars that are actually pretty good who can also fill some of these roles as well. All right, now here's where we got change. This is a wind damage to single foe 4 times. Previously, this was a 3 times at random. So having that, being able to decide exactly what target you want it on is pretty nice. Also adding, to that 4th attack on there. So it's going to be decent for a shield breaker for a wind. And then here we go. Here's going to be another one of the skills that you're probably going to be taking if you're utilizing this guy, and it's in the entire front row. Physical defense and elemental defense up 15%. So definitely not a bad thing, especially if you're pairing it with somebody else who can get that rest of that 30% to kind of help you live through some of the harder hitting fights out there. So not bad at all. And then we have the other ability. I think these last 3 are going to be who you're going to be utilizing, and that's going to be the wind all damage to 2 times. And a part of physical attack down as well. So not too shabby as far as being able to buff everybody's defenses, being able to lower some attack, and then being able to break some shields. I wouldn't say that he's a horrible unit and automatically never worry about building him. I'm just thinking, with what we already have out and other units coming, it may not be a unit that we're going to want to invest in because of his more particular usages. As far as passive skills, this is going to be a problem because he's not going to be able to get any sort of damage up for himself, but he does recover BP from himself 1 turn for the turns, similar to like Theo, and then recover 3% of SP when taking damage from enemies. So if you're spamming him enough out there, he can at least get a little bit of that back. I think to make him better, we should have had a change here in the passives, like they've done to some of the other units. Change that first attack, and then change this over here to something else that would have been a little more beneficial, in my opinion. Now looking over at the awakenings here, it's the same old down until we look at the accessory here. I think this is actually pretty nice, especially if you were to put this on like Tikilin or something like that. Granted, we don't have access to her accessory yet. But that's 60 elemental attacks, 40 defense, 40 speed, pretty good, and then 15% to wind damage, and then you lower the physical attack of all enemies by 15%. So that's pretty good for an accessory in my mind. Granted, I don't have any unit to 4 yet, to Awakening 4, so I don't have access to any of these yet. So a lot of them all look good, and they still all look like whale territory for me. So, all in all, I think he's a okay unit, what I'm going to say is, looking at his banner here, they do have that reduced cost of 150, then goes to 300, then back to the 150, and then that guaranteed on step 5, which we've kind of been seeing more regularly here, and I do like that. Let's take a quick look at the exchange, make sure that didn't change at all. And yep, it looks like we still have access to be able to get them at 4.5 stars. But we looked at the kit there, and the kit's going to really be better for him to be at a 5-star and pretty lackluster for him to be at a 4.5 star. So do keep that in mind, that if you don't have a seal or something like that and you're getting there, you're going to want to have to be working towards that to get him up to that 5-star mark. So keep that in mind. We did get some sacred seals this morning in our mailbox, so let's just take a quick look, see if I can get lucky here, try to speed through this. But let me know down below, any of you guys, like, how did your holidays go? I know we still have some New Year's coming up, and I mean, I'm kind of weird. I like New Year's a little bit better than Christmas in some ways, except now that I have a kid. Christmas is just great to watch him open presents and stuff like that, but it's just been rough with being ill. Starting, I don't know, around 8 a.m. yesterday just has not been good for me. So, okay, those were deads. I am looking for like Cordonia and some of those other ones that are just would be kind of fun to have on the side. Let's check out my free one here. Let's see if we can get anything. I have yet to pull a 5-star off of here at this point. Mostly 4 stars from it. And this one doesn't look any better. Yep. Granted, I could still use some Azalite shards, so that's okay. And then I am feeling in a frisky mood, and we're going to go ahead and just do the 150 pull on here, just because I feel like it today. This is why I've only been able to save up as much as I have, is because I do keep pulling about once on every banner. You guys seen that with Harley there? Oh, or with Cyrus, I did pull once and ended up getting him, but it looks like we're going to get something here as well. What could it be? Now, Therion would be really cool to pick up. I like that he's in the standard pool now. And if I picked up Harley, it wouldn't be too much of a bad thing. I don't have Odette, so having another wind attacker and support wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, granted, mostly support, as we looked at, he doesn't have a lot of passive skills able to help buff his own damage. Let's see here. Okay, power. Oh, I actually really wanted her to be able to utilize for the warrior tower coming up in the future here. This is actually a huge win for me. I really wanted to be able to get her on the team and get her built up so I could have that heal ready to go when we do that. So that's huge for me, actually. Wow. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your holiday season, and that's been my 2 cents.